How can you see what's happening?
Okay, good morning traders and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar with
How can you see
JTrader.
what's happening?
And let's
Okay, good
just
morning
get
traders and
started here.
welcome to the book.
All right, so JTrader will be in just a few minutes. Usually comes in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes later. But we'll go through the S&P E-mini in the meantime as we're waiting for him to finish up his trading room and then start his stock trading and live analysis. You guys know who JTrader is. I do need to go through the risk disclosures quickly, and here's his contact information. He does offer education and mentoring services. I'll put this into the chat for you. And let's go through these disclosures and understand what you're getting involved with here at Bookmap. The general disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Live trading is in simulation, demo, paper trading mode, and strictly for educational purposes. Live trading executed in simulation cannot accurately represent realistic trading performance. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security nor lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in and look at this S&P. Some interesting stuff right off the bat here. Just about every day it is, but I'm just fascinated by the the order flow. We can see the rise up here just around 9:15 into high liquidity here. It was very strange to see this move up here. You can look at the cumulative volume delta as it is dropping. There's a lot of selling up in here. It is a combo level from spot gamma. They're looking at the options trading around this critical level around 46.18, and we can look at the order flow here as well at the cash open. So we have a lot of selling in here. So that's not what we're looking for up at these levels here. They're also getting filled here and here in the liquidity, and we never even trade a 46.20 here, and then we see the drop here. So interesting stuff to take a look at, and we would look for sellers to start to come in here and try to drive it down into 46.07. And did they do that? No. Never made it down there, but it did make it down to some of this liquidity that started to show up in the book down here. Yeah, here's I don't know if let's see, Techie Girl, if she's in here today. Just wanted to show her or you guys that's something we covered yesterday in yesterday's webinar. The low volume pullback. Well, here it is. And also for you VWAP traders, here it is. Right to it, right to where this selling came in, this big selling cluster. This is exactly what we covered. Okay, now there is a little bit of a caveat in here. First off, it's the open, okay, but there's heavy selling here, followed by more selling. Now, it's really not all that heavy down here. We want to see this kind of selling consistently all the way down here, then we'll likely get continuation. Okay, so it kind of tapered off here, and you can see there's back and forth. So it's not the greatest low volume pullback, but it is still, if you look at the dots and you look at the bars, it is still less buying back up to this level. So we would look, and it's off of VWAP too. It broke this structure here. So we would look for a pullback back down, and at least back down into this level here around 46.10, which is exactly what it did. I would have been holding it for the move and continuation lower, take some profit off down here, and try to get a runner. Anyway, that didn't unfold. And then we see this VWAP here is a pretty interesting level here. It's not just VWAP. Look at the structure again. The market structure here. We have consolidation. We have breakdown. We have another breakout. Okay, another structure up here, and now that's breaking and is coming right back down into VWAP here. Okay, so it's really this line here around, it coincides with VWAP, but you can see the structure, beautiful structure setting up here. Is it going to accept above this 46, 14 and a half, or is it going to go below it? That's what we're kind of looking for here. Good morning, everybody. Can you guys hear me and see my screen correctly in here? Okay, yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Always kind of scares me if I go on for like 10 minutes and then I don't hear anything. All right, so we'll see if we can get these sellers. We're going to try to move it here. It looks like they're going to try to go for it. It's really nothing. The selling is not bad in here, but it's really back and forth in here. So this is not really a high probability order flow read. However, it is the primary scenario of breaking this back down into 13, 11, and maybe 10, or maybe even 07 down here. Okay, that's the primary scenario, and it's because we see the selling coming in here. Okay, and we've been bouncing around this level here. Yeah, looking for more sellers to come in and try to drive it lower here. So let's see if we can get that. Let's see, YouTubers over here. Yep, good morning. Thank you, Jose. And all right, and let's JTrader will be in shortly, and then we'll take a look at some stocks here. All right, but we're getting kind of overall feel here of what's going on. Higher time frame analysis, we haven't done that yet. Really interesting move yesterday. I mean, look at the bullishness. Now this kind of bull flag in here, we mentioned this, but it was very kind of, I was at least very careful up in these levels here, but look how we decisively broke through that level yesterday. And way up here now. So the next level is up here around this 46.64 or 65, somewhere around there in this swing up here. And we can see a little bit of a slowdown here today. All right, so the hourly chart, this is the daily on the left. Here's the hourly here. It's still bullish, there's no question. However, we're just not seeing a lot going on here in price action, nor the 15-minute at the moment here. So it's kind of, well, the buyers are down here, it seems, at the moment around this 07, and the sellers are up here around this 30 level. That's about it. All right. Good morning, MC Loco. Low volume pullback. Yeah, we covered kind of one earlier. Just I don't know if you just jumped in right now, but yeah, we covered one around. No, we covered this one right around 941 or so. Okay, and would be looking for the follow through on that. And it didn't. Buyers came right back in, and you can see we're still bouncing around this area here. Okay, it was looking for the sellers to continue here, and it's not high probability. In fact, now it looks like buyers want to trade it right back up to where it dropped from here around 17. Now that's only like a point or two, right? But that's what we'd be looking for now, because there's buyers coming in, and they're starting to follow through. Okay, a little bit higher here. Let's see if they can get up just a bit higher into this level here, which again is market structure that we're looking at, where sellers came in and broke it lower here. Is it a low volume pullback? No, I'd be really careful with this one in here. I really don't see anything that's yeah, there's sellers in here, as you can see. Okay, so that's why we were looking for kind of for continuation here, yeah, no, this is really mixed in here. It can go either way. I do not see anything like a low volume pullback. All right, yeah, we'll continue to go over that again and again. It's just such a good strategy. Really, the order flow really helps us on that one. And again, low volume pullback is usually we're looking for a trending market. Okay, and we don't really see it trending right now. It's kind of all over the place. All right, let's let's see, any other questions at the moment? We do have crude oil inventories here in a bit, so that's going to be interesting. We're up here at 108 on the K contract, the April contract. Keeping an eye out on this one here, and it's really all over the place as well. If there's anything here, buyers took control here. As you can see, this is a good move. That strong consistent buying broke the high here, trickled kind of back down into where we covered pullbacks yesterday in more detail, but we're not making this up. You can see it here. It's so visual. High liquidity, big volume dot, pull back right to it. Okay, and other high liquidity in here on the bid here, wanting to get filled again. Okay, surprisingly, it did not trade up into this 108.80 here. It's been just kind of bouncing around. I'm really surprised, like especially with this buying coming in right here. We do get a little bit of insight here. You can see there's the darker blue line here. In fact, let me take the cumulative volume delta off. Darker blue line in here, well, that's a lot of icebergs in here. Okay, all right. Good morning, Joseph. Looks like you're in.
Very good.
Morning, Bruce. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Joseph. Let me give you the screen here. Are you already kind of broadcasting the your screen?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna screen share right now. Okay, let me know, Bruce, if you can see my monitor.
Yep, looks good.
All right. So I just saw a few minutes ago this NLV. We have a lot of small caps, also big caps now starting to push, like Tesla, like Apple. And I was looking for a low risk scenario. In this case, NLV is a small cap. We're gonna check together, traders, what is NLV and why I decided really very fast. I posted over here also in an advanced webinar why I wanted to take this over here. And I will explain what I saw on Bookmap. I will explain what I saw on my stats. All right, so that's a very important key. Stats, then together with Bookmap. So first of all, I was looking at, good morning, Charo, good morning, everybody. I was looking at this, so just a normal scanner, okay? Whatever you want, just take a scanner and focus on the gappers that are above 15 or even 20%. We are looking over here at the market cap, which is 25. The share float is 27 million. So this is hard to flow rotate. And over here, you can see that the volume traded right now is 30 million. So flow rotated only one time. Let's dig a little bit more into the stats. So we can see also a low institutional ownership, so a very low interest from the firms, from the big institutions who hold this long term. Over here we have news, stock source 32% as Health Canada approves PainGuard, UroGuard. Over here also the license, over here you can see it over here, so that's the news. Generally these news tend to fade, license agreement or contract agreement. And it basically has also history. We can see over here, gap stats, has history also fading on day one. So what I'm looking over here for gaps above 20% and volume more than 10 million, sorry. And we can see that the average day time is 11:25. Average percentage of extension from the gate is 21%. Okay, so we're talking about an extension from the gate of around 21%. So this morning, this extended of 20%. So this is why stats are very reliable. Okay, of course, with the same parameters, because this, if would have had like 5 times the volume, that we have to take different stats for it. And then I go check the financials just at a glance to see what kind of company is this. And we see a company with positive net working capital, but we have over here a negative net income, a very small revenue, and they still have, yes, a little bit of cash, because basically they're losing 200K per month and they have around 8 million. I always look for this at in premise over here. Then I move to the weekly chart and I start looking, okay, what happened over here on the weekly? Do we have any kind of big volume resistance? How the stock moved? And you can see, trader, that this stock over here on this day tend to push, faded, push, faded, push, faded, and so on. Now let's look at the mainly levels. So we have over here main support around 0.50, and then a resistance over here in the weekly, another resistance over here on the weekly. You see, I'm taking into consideration only high weekly levels. So 92 million traded on this week over here. And then the majority over here, we traded this week, 500 million, right? That's a huge amount of volume. So I'm going to put the high over here. The low is already over there. The high over here. The low is there. And then more volume over here. And more volume over here. So we have many, okay? Many high volume weeks for now. Now let's check the daily. If I can see something better, maybe that will filter my trading. So we have this daily resistance, which is very important. Remember 147, so we can round it to the 150. Then we have 177 over here. We also have over here a high volume day with the high at 141. Let's put also this. Then we have 120. Also 8 million volume over here, but there's already 190. We are not interested in that. And now let's put the 4-hour chart. Okay, I think those levels over there are good. We can also put this dip over here. And now you see where's the top. So the top was exactly to this low, and we rejected from the 133, 136 this morning. So I see some good charts this morning on this. And the point for me was, again, too short. Now, what is the target too short in this case? This, for example, is what we did. That's a call, that a trade we made, and now we're looking for this one and lower. So the timing came from Bookmap. And over here, we can use Bookmap in different ways, okay? We can put the dots. So now I'm going to put also dots for you traders. We can put over here smart, all right? Okay. And we can see the difference on this push, because this push came at around 10.07, 10.08. So we were looking for a breakout, this level over here, this bar, you see, big breakout. And over here we have a pennant, right? Big volume, big breakout over here, pushing. Over here, big volume. And then over here, you see only buyers. You know, those dots, only buyers. And on this bar over here, okay, so the bar of 10.10, we started to have like a spike right away, flushed. And then over here, second bar, and then a third bar. Look, these two bars over here. We have a shift between buyers and then the amount of sellers over here. And that's exactly when we started shorting. And now you can see that we have a support just into the J lines, 117, which is this level over here, 117. So again, you can see how J lines correspond to high levels of liquidity. Okay. Now I'm looking for this to fade all the way down until 0.90, 0.95. Okay. So a trade that really came, because this came on my scanner about 20 minutes ago, 5 minutes before the break of the pre-market high. And then I started shorting it. All right. Started shorting it because I was very convinced on the pattern, the stats, the heat map, everything together. Okay.
Joseph,
So let's continue to watch
a
this.
question on that, Joseph. You know, that's quite a bit that you just went through. How are you able, I guess you're just accustomed to it, to be able to read the fundamentals or the you know, financials quickly and get an idea and then look for something technical.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact is, I have to be totally honest, Bruce, being that I traded NAOV in the past, I already knew how this was. So in that moment, I didn't go to check the filings, but I just checked the news. You have time because this is already on the scanners from the early pre-market. So traders have really time to go and check the filings, even look at, to see if they have dilution. And but I just remember the ticker, so you know, just a little bit experience, and you will remember these things, traders, like over time. The second one that I had today was, and I'm still shorting this because the majority of today, besides ISYG, was a short. So I was looking at VYNT, and I missed the pre-market trade on this. Actually, sorry, I short started 184. And a lot of traders this morning asked me, why did you short at 184? Well, basically, traders, I shorted this level over here, 832, which is this pump over here. And we have no buyers, okay? We have very low buyers, almost no buyers. We can put over here also our volume dots. And you can see that we have buyers over here forming. And then where they go? They cannot break the VWAP. So I shorted this 184, but I started. Then this morning I was looking for a pump. This was my plan. Okay, so I wrote in the watch list, let's look for a pump, looking to short this, blah, blah, blah. And in about 1 to 3 days, I had like 20 trades and 2 stops. My stop was 12 cents on Apple and 3 cents today on VYNT. So I share my trade in the room. I short over here 184 and it came down, dip 178. Why? Because this was the VWAP and I saw also some sellers over here. See, traders? I see sellers. So let's jump in. Let's take this fade because it was a pump and the volume is not high. 300K per minute on a $1 stock is basically like to say that, I don't know, on Tesla, you will have like 2 shares per minute. Okay, it's very, very low. And then when it came at 187, so over here we had a big ask. There was around, I believe, yeah, around 23,000, maybe a little bit more at the time was some ARCA. And I stopped from, let's say, 30,000, went down to 17. I didn't want to wait. I stopped. Simply stopped into this bar over here, this dot over here. And then it continued to go. Now, few traders took the top, so glad for them. They traded much better than me on this one. And again, what you can see over here, the shift, right? Because this part is only buyers and this part is only sellers. It's very, very easy to see this. But when you are in the market, I was looking at 10 stocks at the same time, 10. I have positions open on 6 stocks right now, 6 going towards my way. Looking at futures, looking at Bitcoin and other, I can tell that sometimes you mess up with the timing. So I shorted at 188, exactly over here. Again, I posted my chart, I posted the alert live and everything, blah, blah. And I was covering this in in the streaming. So when I saw this bar, you can see over here the huge amount of sellers that we have on this, right? Only pink dot sellers. I shorted exactly over here. And now I basically covered my stop because stop was 3 cents. I took partial, let me see where I took the partial, just 1 second. VYNT. Yes, I took a partial 176. So already there I took like 3R. And now I'm holding for this 160 and I'm covering it right now into the VYNT 160s. So I'm putting limit out into this area over here, into 156, 158, and so on. But this is a very low risk trade. And again, Bookmap give me the timing. And I had my pattern that I trade every single time. And this pattern gives me like 80 plus % win rate. Let me see over here. Okay. This is also the job of a teammate. So getting this tip. Now, I see some traders that ask me if I can put a little bit more resolution. Let me know if this would be better, traders. This, remember, is a 4K monitor, but let's see if I can reduce my quality.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful, Joseph. It is a little hard to read, but it's clear on
I think
my
this
end.
should be better, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let us know, guys. There's still room in the Discord area as well, if you guys want to watch it in there.
Okay. Let me know, trader, if this is better. I increased the zoom so you can see better the prices. All right, I wanted to focus, being that I'm holding VYNT, I'm holding NOV, I'm holding ADGI. I'm a little bit sad. I mean, yesterday the only long that I took was on Apple. I had 4 longs, and one of these longs was a stop of 10, 12 cents. I'm a little bit about sad that ADGI, I didn't recycle my shares over here, 580, which was an important level of heat map. I really like this. We're going to put again the volume dots up. So Bruce is happy when I do it. So let's make him happy. And
It's not I really like the way you're using the candlesticks. It's just that there's a gap between, and that's exactly
yes,
why, and the volume dots will show things that the candles can't.
yes, it's just, sometimes to eliminate a little bit of confusion, keeping a little bit more like a bigger picture. That's my point. So when I have the level over here, for example, 587, I know there's a VWAP, I know there's 590, there's a resistance. And that is my setup for me is ready enough to go. Then, of course, traders, you can analyze better over here, like Bruce says, the order flow, even the timing of the price action, right? And over here, I missed this re-entry, okay? I enter in pre-market, my entry is up here, 680, this is my average, risking the 715. And I'm holding for this 450, 470 area. But again, I wanted to go over Apple and Tesla. So Apple sitting right now, the J lines, and Tesla over here trying to bounce. It's still not outside the previous day range, so need to wait for that. We can put Apple over here. Okay, so yes is pulling back. Apple is pulling back. Please update me if you see anything else, okay?
Joseph, that's such a nice edge that you have. Many eyes, not only immediately in your room there, I mean physical room or area there, but also with your network of traders. They're looking at many things, and
Yeah, because you have right away, alerts, and then you just have to follow the pattern. Look over here, Bruce, this morning. I didn't trade Apple this morning, traders. Okay, I didn't trade any kind of big cap. The trade that I took on Apple is a counter trend trade, so I don't really want the traders following me on this. That's the reason why I didn't call this trade in the room, because my trader on the big caps is 90% trend following. I took my trade exactly this morning over here, Bruce, on this one, exactly that level. And you can understand why, because we push into this 179 and 60. And when I saw this heat map over here forming, for me, that was more than enough. One heat map, 2 and 3 up here. So reason to short. And I covered the majority down here. Why? J lines. Okay, so very, very easy. Another thing that we have to analyze over here, because if you look at the 1 hour chart, the 1 minute chart, you'll tell me, Jay, I find nothing over here to trade. Okay, and now I can show you this. Let's see if I can make Sunny happy this morning. Sunny, it's better, buddy. So I had to go from my 4K down to 1080. Okay, send me a pizza. So besides by kidding, I'm looking at the levels, all right? Always looking at the levels over here. And we have to go back, we learn or anything else. Now, the point is on Apple, we don't have any kind of previous high volume days above this. But fortunately, that top was just into this area over here. And this is a weekly chart. So we see this top, that was good. And this top over here is good. And then we have also this top. So when I go back and I'm looking for those plays to short, I know that that's my weekly resistance. And then over here, I have the top on an extension, far from the 90MA, just into a heat map over here. Okay, so more things together confirm my thesis. Okay, traders. All right, so now let's follow, see if we have anything else.
Joseph, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here, just waiting over here. I try to mute those notifications because it really bothers me.
I'm sorry about this. I mean, we're streaming all at the same rates we all have before in the past. So I don't know what, it's a little bit blurry, but this is the best we can do, guys.
All right, so Apple again. Remember, yesterday we have this resistance. So I'm not going to trade if we don't have a push above 179. That's what I'm looking for. This was the setup of yesterday. So we had a trend break and a J-line curl. If you see Tesla the day before was the same exact setup. And now over here, I'm not considering anything to trade below this area. So I want to trade above this 179. Only that, okay? Maybe you can have a trade. Let's see if ES is going to push. You can see on my left. what I'm trying to teach over here, traders, in the short time that we have together, is that if you want to be professional traders, you have to not follow alerts, and you have to learn how to day trade by yourself, being that you trade stocks, options, futures, and cryptocurrencies. Okay. I have a precise playbook. Playbooks, when I say playbook, means like my chart patterns, which create my strategy. And strategy has to be formed by risk management, by patterns, by read of order flow in this case, and also by mental aspects, which could be discipline, patience, no fear, and really work on yourself. So when I'm telling that, I'm looking, even despite over here having the J-lines, okay, I'm looking for this kind of scenarios only when we are above this level. And when we are trending is because this is back tested. Means that I took my Excel sheet, and then each day I put over there the results, the setups, how I work, the drawdown, the loss, the win, in order to make something completely analytical. And by that, I take my trades because I have stats that are, let's say, supporting my thesis, supporting my plan. This is the first thing. Now, I generally don't like to trade mid-morning, but I have to change idea. Lately, I'm trading even during the day because big caps especially, besides yesterday, that was everything in range, but especially big caps, they start to trend mainly midday or afternoon. You can see this on Nvidia past weeks, on Apple past weeks, on Tesla past week, and others. The stocks that I'm preferring to trade right now in the big caps, they give me more volatility are Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, BABA, also BA, Facebook, Netflix. And when Bitcoin is really crazy and volatile, then Mara. Okay, generally these, but I'll of course trade even others on the big caps. Try to specialize in few.
Joseph, I have some questions on that, like, because this is probably not meeting what your typical strategies of breakout and, or maybe it is, I don't know, breakout of a new daily range and continuation. It's probably a lot more choppy, I imagine.
Well, exactly. If we trade inside this range over here, guys, and let's look together. So I traded this. I didn't trade it these 2 days over here. Why? Because it's totally in range inside this area over here. So therefore, if I'm not really having a trend established, like I could have over here, 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 there's no point for me to trade long. There's no point for me to take short. So I'm staying out of low liquidity areas. And you can spot low liquidity from just putting your level of support resistance, and you will see always this. In the volume contraction days, price will be lateral. Okay, so remember about volume contraction. Now, Tesla over here is uptrending, yes, but I'm not going to scalp. I can trade this if I'm looking to scalp because you can see so many previous daily resistance here. We can see over here. We can see over here. So when you trade at these levels, you know that you can have a possible reversal. Like over here, we dip, we rejected. This is not my perfect scenario. My perfect scenario is like we had Tesla a few days back, like this day over here, that we start trending. That is where I want to put my focus on.
Interesting. So it's been a bit of a switch then from your looking on the large caps, looking for a breakout on the daily chart. You're looking intraday, but you're still looking at basically exactly the same setup, but it is not breaking out of a daily range.
Yeah, I prefer more Bruce to have a correct trend and looking for those, I would say, A plus setup scenario when the market gives me trend breakout of the previous day range, and then I know that the breakout will bring a lot of traders. And why this? Because up till now the market was not a bullish market, so it was not the market we had, for example, last June, and therefore I had to stop using, for example, setups that I like on the over, that you can only use in certain cycle scenarios. Market divided traders in different cycle scenarios. So you have the markup, markdown, you have the accumulation, distribution. If you trade during accumulation, distribution, or markdown, certain setups, they won't work. While they will work, for example, when you have a markup. So this is extremely important. Now I'm looking over here, ADGI, because it's breaking my trend line. We start having buyers over here. Main level of resistance at 6. So ADGI could be one stock that we're gonna trade it soon. So ADGI, watching for, ideally it's a little bit far, the $6 level over here, previous resistance 6,610, and 6 we have a huge heat map. So let's watch this. On there. Over here. This one good.
Yeah.
So we started NAV and AOV at my trade is a 133, 134. Now it's 115. So we're already making over here 15 cents when we were risking like 4. This is a pretty good return. Now I'm holding for scene 090. So let's look at these things together, at these levels together. Now we can keep like this. And I'm gonna take off this. So this morning, we started with an increase of volume, was very big volume over here. We had a 1 million for 5-minute candle bar on the, around 7005 time. So you can see over here, all green bars, right? Curl, pattern, bar, bar, bar. And then at a certain point, we started having this $7 resistance. So this is the first level that I started seeing for a possible fade, for a possible short. And then we go to retest it into this area, this bar over here, which is this bar over here, right? So we go up above that 710, right away slam below. And since that moment, we don't reclaim anymore that level 711. This becomes even more interesting, and this is what should give you the conviction to look for a short. First of all, you have to look at your daily chart, of course. And then you're looking over here, 7 resistance, okay? So what we have a seller at 7 that is refilling constantly. He won't show over there that maybe is with 300K, but he will come every single time that somebody eats a little bit. And then even more players. At a certain point over here, we start having another seller. So 697, all right? And this is a 730. So when the price is over here, we start having a resistance above. And then starts to unwind. Don't look at this because this never happened. So we didn't have a pop 690. Don't look at this. Now at 930, I was expecting 615. or 645. Never came, so I missed my entry exactly this area over here. Sorry, this 955. Missed it. Was good? Yes, we saw before with the heat maps. Now we rejected the 570. Am I in? Did I add more? No, I didn't add over here. So I'm just waiting for that push into ideally the 6, which would be my favorite level. Too short, otherwise I'm holding like this. So let's look at Apple. We're still inside that range. BA is one of the stocks that I'm watching. We will need to break this 196 and 55. Baba, we have to break the 120 that I'm starting to trade this. So we have a push over here on Hills, very low volume. Let's start watching this Hills. HILS. Let's prepare also the order flow. So the main resistance over here on Hills is this 225. 225, 250, and 330. Let's see also the our chart. Yeah, we can say with the 225. Let's put over here HILS. Very, very liquid right now. So we need, of course, the push at least 225. So watching Hills to short that level. Infi. Yeah, just 20% gapper for now. Apple, nothing. So watching ADGI traders coming up. But great morning. We have VYNT now short and ADGI short from the pre-market. Now we're watching for Tesla. And this is not an A+ setup because we'll be only partial scalping as we're inside the previous day range. I'm going to adopt this setup over here. So we have a resistance 13, then another one at 15, 16 over here, and then this previous high at 24. So to answer over here, Homsi, It's hard for me to give suggestion on brokers over here. Write me in private to think it's better. But yes, with TradeStation, you will hardly find hard to borrow stocks. TradeStation is a good broker for trading, for example, options or big caps. But there are other brokers much better that allow you to have very cheap borrows, hard to borrow stocks. If you trade small caps, the majority of these, 90%, will give you very good shorts and with very easy setups. I trade personally both small caps and big caps.
How many brokers do you have,
Or
4.
plus an Italian broker.
Ah, bravo. Do you trade the Italian borsa often?
No, but I use that to make day trades and swings on the big caps. It's pretty good. Just to like use that software, for the execution. So I use that a lot.
Oh, okay. But you don't trade Italian stocks?
No, not anymore now.
Oh, okay.
No. I stopped that 15 years ago.
So you're primarily, I mean, you're just trading U.S. markets basically.
Yes, and cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin.
Right. Okay.
There's a little bit over here sideways. Support 1106. Breaking the support, so we'll revisit this at the J lines. 104. Yes, they had a lot of dips over here, but on Apple, like right now, Tesla. Yeah. Yes, it's coming down. So just check ES traders. Has no range. You want to trade ES when it's doing this. So you want to stay on big caps when big caps have a index that does this. You don't want to trade big caps when this index is doing this. All right. So that is a big sign for me of not trading. This is the trend. Okay. So we are having over here an A plus. And over here instead, what is range? No trade.
So
Well, let's avoid big caps for now. Tell me, Bruce.
yeah, Joseph. So what do you do? I mean, like, you just keep stalking the market, but you're just not. I mean, days like that, you're not going to trade.
I'm not going to trade big caps, but I already took 6 positions on 6 different small caps.
Understood.
So, and even if I wouldn't have any kind of small cap, I would wait. There's no problem to sit and do nothing. How many times people go to work in an office and they do nothing all day while they're working for like a boss? Right, Bruce?
Yeah, that's funny.
So
That's
at
funny.
least that's the Italian mentality. So you just have to be patient. But
Are,
again, this morning, for example, small caps, it was at least all these last 3 or 4 weeks, we have one setup after the other one. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Some very big days.
so are there days like you just come in and you just like, I don't see much. I'm just going to call it a day.
No, because even those days, often I see opportunities maybe coming from an extension, from a news, midday, mid morning. But of course, if there's nothing to do, I do nothing. It's not that this job you need to work every single day. Otherwise, the boss won't pay you. Maybe in one day, you will make the paycheck of one single month or of 1 year. So who cares if you trade every single day?
Right.
All right, ADGI again. The volume is super weak, traders. There's a reason over here. I would like that somebody tells me why this is holding over here. ADGI, why this is holding. I will give you a help over here. Let's do this. So let's put ADGI. There's a reason over here why ADGI is holding. Yes. Okay. Exactly. High institutional ownership. Now, some give 46, some give 60. The important thing is that we have a high institutional ownership. Anything above 30, 35% is a high institutional ownership. And you will see, traders, that when you have this high institutional ownership, stocks will tend to hold. Okay.
Joseph,
Let's
just a quick question on that. Is it institutional or insider?
institutional. We don't really care if the CEO holds 80% of his crappy company. We care more if institutionals, they hold a big chunk of this company because they have like more, let's say, power in the small caps than the CEO or the company itself. Talking about institutions. So they will tend to hire this to hold this higher. And getting to our chart, this is what ADGI is doing today. So volume is decreasing. Until we have the volume decreasing over here, there's no possibility that this will push to 640, 650. So I'm controlling my short that for now I still with average up here because I didn't have re-ads. But I'm looking to have re-ads over here. I'm looking for this.
So in contrast, if this was a small cap that was pretty junky, you would be shorting it. Or you'd be looking for a short, maybe.
If even now I'm looking for a short. I'm just looking for a perfect timing to short it and to add to my position. So what I'm looking at is a level over here or this $6 level where we had the previous high. I could have short over here multiple times. This one. I simply didn't, basically because I was more on other stocks more than not taking them. And now I would like to see a little bit more push, like say $5.80, $6 to add to my short. Also, we have the RCT traders. This is a stock that this morning exercised 2.8 million warrants, I believe, at 550. It's curling up again. Volume over here is going almost to the 1 million. So we're going to shift 1 second into the RCT. Okay, resistance over here is at $5. So this gray area, which is the pre-market high. And over here, we can have a possible 515 short. So watching the RCT, 515 short. Want to see blow up of The resistance. Bars are expensive. Personally, I don't have bars on this. ADGI watching for 580. Six fake out. Volume blew up. So they cleaned that 575 traders, but they didn't clean the 580 on ADGI. And that would have been a very good level to enter, the 580 fake out. See Tesla. Once more, sun over here. 30 cents move. Once more, sun over here. 30 cents move. Let's check a snow. This is a stock that has history of fading. Yeah, let's see. Nothing. Apple to the lows traders. Baba J lines, but still inside that previous day range. BA J lines. HYMC, I'm still looking for this one. It's a multi-day play. ISIG. J lines over here on the watch as well. MD back in range. So we have over here TLRY. mRNA was a pop-in fill the gate. So we have a TLRY that is actually pushing, but didn't get to the J-line, so still avoiding. Heels pushing over here. So this could be interesting. Over here.
Yeah.
Above pre-market high.
Mm-hmm.
So let's watch traders at heels.
You should go for it.
Remember, we have a small float, 4 million. So this is the news. Let's see. Heels overview. So we have no news, sorry. No news on heels. More like a pump. Let's see if they have dilution. They have cash, no dilution. They say around 3.75 million float. Heels over here. Remember the weekly levels, we are looking for the 225. Yeah, 225 is the level that I'm watching, then 250. All right. So we have no dilution in 4 million float. So we trade over here 1/3 of the float, more or less. 220, we have a 222, a pretty big resistance on heat map, so that could be good. You see over here. Correct.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can have that.
they're going with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm. You see a ton of buyers right now, a ton. Like the majority of the buyers over here approaching that 220. Let's see, even before I get to this level and it came up.
Let's see what happens.
So levels too long would be the J lines, but the J lines right now are at 190. And level too short is 225, 250. But also we have to confirm that with our the flow. So first seller over here, 214. I'm not short on this one. Yeah, hopefully it won't feel like this, traders. Very slow volume, this one. more sellers over here, 208, so they're going to probably dump over here on hills. Apple to the lows, put up this.
Joseph, what would you say your holding time is for a position? I mean, I know it depends, you know, dramatically, but just in general, if you maybe can answer that.
I would say between 1 and 2 hours.
And
I would say.
and those would be mostly even off of a J line, a bounce off of a J line. You'd still hold it for like 1 or.
Yes. Mostly, this I would say includes all the patterns that I trade, an average between 1 and 2 hours. Yes.
The do you find that you maybe hold longer the like pump and dump, or gap and crap longer, because it just takes a lot longer for it to kind of trade back down?
I just show you an example. This is an apple. Shorting, covering from 930 and still holding for possibly 175. I can show another example. For example, this, I showed it yesterday over here, and then I held the last 2 hours. This I shorted the top, I held over here, I'm still holding, so this is overnight. This I shorted midday, 12 o'clock, and I held all day, so around 4 hours. And this I short 11:30, and I held all day for about, let's say, 4 hours and a half, 5 hours. So it really depends. But I like to consider my average between 1 and 2 hours. So you will see stocks that I trade in last 4 hours, or stock that maybe I trade in last 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Makes sense, Bruce?
Yeah, makes sense.
For futures,
yeah,
for
Alan.
futures, no, it's different. Because if you look at this, all right, I'm not trading a day like this because there's actually no trend. So for me, without a trend, I'm not looking to trade anything. And I let my bear next to me trade, for example, yes. So what we're looking are days like this. And then we can simply enter over here and write this. Often I will be looking for NQ or even YM, but yes, I think is the favorite. So like this day over here, we have a trade over here that lasts only about 30 minutes. But then we have a trade over here in the curl that lasts all day long. Okay, so I would say that futures have a shorter time frame, and that could be around 15 to 1 hour, 15 minutes to 1 hour. So bounce over here in the market, you can see yes, bouncing. Apple bouncing from the previous support. Okay, DRCT starting to curl up again. Let's see if we're going to have a long trade. So $5 resistance, then we have 550. Previous level was 540, 550 over here. So let's try to watch this, traders. That's the pre-market high. Pre-market high over here, that's the previous high, 550. Is it going up?
Yeah. That's good.
So it's a stock with no previous high volume resistance areas. The stock that could potentially push again to new highs and go to even 6. So right now what I'm watching if we can hold a 5 and then dip into a 90 MA or a J lines to long. Plus heat map support. So it's a stock that traded 68 million volume and it's a small float. And also these.
Yeah.
I actually missed this morning this J lines perfect over here for 50. So 515, 520 resistance. I believe we're gonna have a breakout on this one. Let's see the pullback over here into the 5. So not a heat map over here. If I saw a heat map 490 or 485, this could be a good setup for a long in over here. Of course, we missed the first one and the second dip, but this now is better because we're above the pre-market high. Volume is there. Let's see if we can have a long on this one. Some form of support at 490. Decent support. 490, we're down here. So let's see if this washes. $507 instead. It's picking up momentum. $5 over here. We have a small support 494. Below the 5 traders, so possible wash to the 490. $493. They're playing 93, 94. Volume is there. Volume is there. They're still continuing to hold this. I just went a little bit lower to buy. Hopefully won't push now to new highs. I want this 490. Reclaim the 5. There we are, 490 dip. Bought over here in the dip partial at 489, risking the 486, 487. So very tight risk. I want to see a fast wash and bounce. And I bought on the dip. Why? Previous support 487. Why? Fast wash. Seeing buyers on the tape over here. Now risking this 89. So risking break even. Let's see if we can push it a bit more. 90, we need to see a support. So we're buying the dip over here. Very tight risk. With 89 risk, break even. Okay, a little bit better, 93. There we are. So 5. I'm not taking any profit. Want to see a break of that 5 over there. Okay. 501, 502. 5 support now, looking for a 505. Previous resistance. Selling partially here on the ask. See if I can get a fill. Now I'm risking break even. So we have resistance 510 and 520. I want to take a little bit of profit, 505, but now I cancel my exit. And I'm going to look for this 510 for a little bit of profit over there. So 490 is the maximum risk. And you can see we're consolidating over here, right? We need to see a curve with high volume because for now the ask is stacked 0, 5, 10, 15, and 20. you look at this, traders, seems a flag pennant.
Man, that liquidity is really holding it down there.
At a point that it's midday and it floor rotated over here multiple times. We don't have any kind of bag holders. I believe that they exercise everything on those warrants. This could simply push strong today, maybe go even 580 over 6. So I'm having very low risk, which is break even. And I'm looking for this pennant breakout. There we are. It's getting even tighter right now. It's making consecutive inside bars, really getting tighter. So careful over here on the move, traders. And you see, see, fast breakdown, just got into the stop break even at 490. And now it's still holding over here. So again, we'll see if we're gonna have another support, looking to re-enter long again, and then looking for more push. All right, any questions for today? 11:30 over here.
No questions. Really like it, Joseph. There's a break-even scratch trade for you, but your setup is extremely clean and clear. And this is what you're looking for, and this is what you're risking.
Exactly. So, traders, thank you for the morning. If you have questions, reach out to me or Bruce. Thank you, Bookmap, for having a great day together. And see you, everybody, at the next time. Thank you very much, traders, and take care. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Joseph. Bye-bye.